what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to go over how to do a shipment cycle with 60 tons. Just for some information here, I have 9 transports that I'll be utilizing for the cycle, 2 of which have trade boost 5, trade burst 5, rush 5, shipment computer 8, and shipment drone 11. Obviously I need cargo 12 and transport 6 in order to get the even 60 tons. There's my second one. You'll notice that it has a 11-hour cooldown. That's just because that was my run from 12 hours ago, from the morning. So again, same modules on this one: boost 5, burst 5, rush 5, computer 8, and drone 11. And then you'll notice that every other transport than those two will have shipment beam. That will just allow me to pick up any straggling shipments that I leave behind so I don't accidentally deliver them to a location. Mentioned it before, but just as a recap, for me, I have my trade stations off lane, so the drone won't deliver anything with them accidentally if the lifespan goes over the next hour. So what I can tell is that since you get 1 shipment every hour for trade stations, since I have 12 out of 18, and the hour just ticked over, I know that my 12 hours is up and it's time to do shipments. So I'll go ahead and activate my warp lanes here. So my first thing is I usually start left and go right. So I order descending destination down, so 1's at top, and technically trade stations at the very bottom. And just a quick recap on how I actually have this organized. So you'll see most of my planets have a number at the beginning and a number at the end. Some don't have a number at the end. That's just because they're not a hub. These hubs, the first number is basically the number that another hub is going to deliver to, and the second number is the shipment it's going to hold. So for example, this is 3, the Shire 7. You see here, this one, the 3 is in the second position. So any shipments that go to the Shire, which is 3, will be stored on this planet because it's the 3's in the second position. And so this 7 means, at the second position, means that all the shipments for any location that begins with a 7 is going to be stored here. So this begins with a 7, this begins with a 7, and this is my trade station 7. So these 3 locations, after we do all of our sorting and we apply our computer, we're going to put all those shipments on this destination, and we'll go over that more in detail later. So first things first, I'm going to pick up, except for my destination here, which is Gondor. So I'm going to leave that one there. I'm gonna just jump this guy up to there. I'm gonna grab everything. He's got 1, and that's the Shire. So we're gonna move him there. Alright, so here's where I start to decide how I want to move my transports. These first 3 are typically pretty easy, now it gets a little bit more complicated. So I usually try to grab the shipments on this trade station with this one, but since he's got a destination here, but he doesn't here, I'm actually going to just waypoint there. That way he can pick up everything without dropping anything off. Same exact thing, since he's got no destination there, we'll just go there. And then I'll just do a quick overview. These are the 2 planets that I want to really look out for as far as destination goes, because I'm going to do all of my sorting and all of my computer bonus on this one planet. This is going to be the planet where I pick up any last shipments that go to this one, since they talk to each other. So see, it's 2, 1, and 1, 2, so they kind of go back and forth. So that's got none, that's good. That just has the top one, and that's got none. So we got a lot of wiggle room on where we can pick these up, what transports we can pick these shipments up with. I'm gonna use shipment beam For me, I guess 600 one way though. It's just cheaper because this is a shipment that goes here, 5 Gondor 6. Because it's it starts with the 5. I need to find the hub that ends in a 5, which is this one. So that means that this shipment is actually going to be stored on here and then delivered here with a drone. And since I normally take this transport and I go up here, with the exception of those 3, I will go there and I will beam up that shipment. And we'll do the same process as with this one. So it's gonna be delivered here, and all the shipments, because this starts with the 3, the hub that ends in a 3 will need to hold this shipment because it begins with a 3. I hope that makes sense. If you have questions, please put them in the comments below. I can try to help you out. So once again, I'm going to just beam that there. So this is a 1, so I need to find the hub that ends in a 1, which is this one, which means these 3 shipments are going to be stored on this planet, so I'm going to beam those. For these 3 trade stations, it's basically just going to be where can I pick them up the easiest. Doesn't really matter. I used that shipment already, that beam. So I'm gonna move him up there, and I know there's nothing that goes up there, so I'm just going to beam that one. And this is the troublemaker one because that's the only one that goes up there, so I'm actually going to pick that on this one. And since there's nothing that goes there, I'm going to just beam that one. Alright, so I'm going to dump this off. And now the other thing I do is once I have these all kind of stationed where they're going to pick up shipments, the additional thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the ones that I'm not going to have to move. So for example, this planet ends in a 6, which means there's, I think for this one there's 3 destinations that will start with a 6. There's this planet, there's this trade station, and there's this planet. So we can see that there's 2 shipments here, 5 here, and 1 here, which means I should leave those 8 shipments on this. So I'm just going to go down here and I'm going to deselect any 6s. You don't have to do this. This is something that I do just because I have run into problems. There's 300, 400 something, if not more, shipments that we're dealing with here, and it just makes it a little easier to sort up top. So I'm just going to dump off any 6, and then I'm also going to drop off any that go to Minas Morgul, my main ice one, because we'll pick those up after the sorting. I'm going to send these just to the waypoint for now, just the ones that have my computer. I'm going to put them to the waypoint because I want them on the far right of my sorting list, and I'll explain why later. So I'm going to do the same process here. Since this planet ends in a 7, I'm going to leave any shipment that goes to a 7 on this planet, so I don't have to worry about sorting it later. And then drop off any that go to Minas Morgul. We had a few there. And then again, just the shipment computer going to just the end of the warp lane. Same exact process. This ends in a 3, so we're going to drop off all of our 3s. And any that go to Minas Morgul, and this one will just go straight to the planet. And this one's a 4, ends in a 4, so we'll go and drop off all the 4s. And any that go to Minas Morgul go straight to the planet. And this ends in a 5, so we're going to leave all the 5s. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. I'm going to pick up those 2 7s. And 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Lots of 5s on this one. So see, that's 18 shipments alone that we wouldn't have to sort here, because they're technically already sorted. They're gonna end up on this location. So why bring them over here? Our computer, we apply our computer. At least the method I do, I apply my computer on the hubs themselves, not on the main hub all at once. I find it just a little easier to manage. That's obviously personal preference. If you want to try to have a good method on sorting on the ice, you can. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. I reversed the destination because since it's ones, those are always at the bottom, so I just reversed it. So now all the higher numbers at the top, and that's 60 full right there. And then we'll do it again, and then we'll just drop off all the ones. Oops. So now I have the rest of the ones that are not ones, and we'll go to the planet, and this is an extra. So now phase 1 is complete. We have effectively gathered all of the shipments that we are going to be sorting on this one ice planet, and the only shipments that are on the hubs are the shipments that are going to be going to that location or Minas Morgul, which we will pick up at the very end and sort. So only the hubs have shipments now. We've gone back and we've shipment beamed any stragglers, so every planet is effectively empty. I also did forget to mention that these two sectors, I have the planets just holding artifacts, so they don't generate anything. If you don't have artifacts on your water planet, I highly recommend doing relay. It's something like 5,000, if that, shipment yield a day. Personally, I don't find it worth trying to balance another 36 shipments every day just for 5,000 credits when you can just relay it. The bonus you're gonna get is not gonna be worth it. Again, if you find it worth it, if you want to squeeze out every bit of credits, go for it. It's just something that I don't do. So now that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 transports on my planet, I'm now going to bring these guys over, and this is going to make them on the right side of the stack. And once they're there, we're basically going to just do a process of dumping and reloading. So I'm going to drop off 50. I'll drop off one more just to get to 100. I'm going to make this where the ones are top, and I'm going to put 60 in here. This basically makes it to where I grab the lowest number of shipments as much as I can on that transport, and that's going to allow more of the higher end shipments to kind of be on the planet. So I'm just going to do that all for all of these. I'm just going to dump as much as I can and then pick up what I can. So this is basically kind of like a semi-sort, because you're dumping off, because these are obviously, they're coming from planets which have anywhere from 1 to 7, and I'm just kind of trying to do a semi-sort right here. So I've got 20 more in here. I'll go ahead and just pick 60 up and drop 20. So now I'm going to change the destination, so now the 7s are up top, or at least the trade stations are now, and I'm just going to click all the 7s, and I'm going to go to my next transport, and I'm going to do all the 6s. And then next transport, do all my 5s. Trade stations are done. I'm going to hop back to my first one. 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s. And now that I'm here, I'm getting low. And I'm done with my 7, 6, 5, 4. I'm going to dump off this 60. We're going to repeat the process. I'm going to have our third transport for 5s. And then go back to 7, 6, 5, 4, and now that we have this one up, we can pick up 3s, and then we're going to dump off this one. This is going to be our 1s, so we'll go get back and do the 5s, go back to our 7s, our 6s, our 5s, 4s, 3s. I'm going to leave the 2s here because this planet is the hub for 2s, so I'm just going to skip over them. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and I'm going to collect the 1s, and then do this planet. Go back to the 7s. Hopefully none of these actually max out, which does happen even with 60 tons. 5s, 4, 3, and then no 1s yet. We'll dump off this 60, and since we have a little more, we'll just fill up, go back to 100. It looks like our highest number is 6s, so we'll start there. Go to 5s. Go to 4s. Looks like we might hit cap here. Okay, so a little extra on 4s, so I have an extra transport here, and I'll just pick up the extras there. Go to my 3s, and my 1s, and we'll dump off the last 40 here. And 4s, which were full, so we'll put them on that one. Pick up our 3s, and our last bit of 1s. Alright, we are officially completely sorted. So this planet now only holds 2s, and our transports are sorted by number. This transport has all 7s, all 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s, 1s, and our leftover 4s. So now we're going to send them to their hubs. So remember how I said this ends in a 7, so it's going to hold all the shipments that go to locations that have a 7. So this one, and this one. You can tell when you highlight the first one, 1, 2, 3, boom. The next one is 6s, same idea. 5s, 4s, 3s, and 1s, and our extra 4, which is going to go to that one. So 6s will hold these 3, 5s will hold those 3, 4s will hold that 3, those 3, 3s will hold this one and these 2. My 1 will hold these 2, that one and that, and my top ice will hold that ice and then the 3 desert, because the 3 desert always has quite a bit of shipments. So everything's kind of going to their own. I'm actually going to just start picking up. So I'm going to go click the planet and go back and forth a couple times, and then waypoint to ice and planet, and I take my second one and I do the same thing. Actually, since that only has 60, I can actually do that with 1 transport. And I will just select all locations. Okay, and then so that's how you apply the computer. If you didn't know, all it has to do is it just has to automatically pick up shipments. So you just go back and forth between a waypoint a couple times and then select where you want to go. That way you don't accidentally have it go to the actual location. It gives you time to cancel all your routes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to just drop off all of my shipments on the planets. We're a little over here. Okay. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this destination, and I'm going to click those 1s that we talked about earlier, and I'm going to bring them to this planet. And remember, we haven't sorted this, we haven't applied the bonus to this planet yet, so we have time to bring these over. Since I have a little extra, I'm going to carry the extra for my off-lane planet here, so that way it doesn't affect my drone. Because this is an off-lane planet, my computer will be applied when I go to pick it up and drop it off, so I don't need to worry about applying the computer bonus right now, because it'll be automatically applied later, and you'll see that. So this is completely, this has been completely sorted, and the boost has been applied to all 53 of those shipments. I'm going to move this one right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and deliver it to these 2 locations, because I know that all of these that are incoming right now are just for Minas Morgul, my ice, so I don't need to worry about missing a shipment, because these, if I look at that planet, those are all I have for those 2 locations. And then I'm going to move this one, and now I'm going to go ahead and pick up these 2 locations. Remember, ends in a 1, it's a hub for the ones that begin with a 1. So this planet and moon, this planet, and this planet. I'm going to go ahead and drop off all those straggling ones that I picked up. This one has been applied, so I'll cancel its route. And I'll just have it go back so I can dump it off again. And keep in mind, I'm obviously taking a little longer. I normally time mod through this. I'm usually done at about 12 to 15 minutes tops. So it's a really quick process, especially with 60 tons. I'm just taking a little more time just to hopefully go as slow so you guys can see the process here. So now I'm just going to go from one planet to the next, and I'm just going to do that whole process, clicking the warp lane back and forth a few times, and then waypointing to those locations that I want to apply the bonus to. Same here, go to that. And I normally separate it. The transport that is on cooldown, I will do the left side, and the transport that has the boost burst ready, I go to the right side. And I do that because the hubs they're numbered in a way where this delivers to that and that delivers to that. So kind of hard to explain, but basically I don't want the transport to accidentally pick up these shipments that go here. If I start from the left, go to right, so I go right to left, because I will waypoint this to the trade station since it's off lane, and then I won't have to worry about it delivering to here because this one holds this. I'll go more into detail later, don't want to confuse you now. So simple process. Again, normally I have timeout here because this is just a pretty slow process to speed it up, but again, I'm just going from hub to location, and obviously since I know my system, I know what I need to pick up. So I have my transport going to this location and this location. I don't care about my trade station because it's off lane, and any off lane location is going to automatically get the shipment computer bonus when I go ahead and pick it up with the trade boost and burst when I go to deliver it with the transport. So for this one, I don't care about this planet. I didn't care about this. I don't care. See how I did completely ignore this trade station, but I did pick up the shipments for these two locations. So now I'll go and turn it back. At my current levels, it takes roughly 28 minutes or so for the shipment drone to deliver everything. I have two in case I miss the hour and I have like 30 minutes left of the hour, and then I crunch through my shipping and there's 20 minutes left. I will fire off two, but for this instance I will only fire off one, and then I will have, this is the last planet I have to worry about, and that's this planet and that planet. So now here's where I do all my off lanes. So I will do the same process I did for my trade station. Looks like the drone's going to go here. Perfect. So I can drop off those last 5. So this is the last hub that I need to apply bonus to. Alright, so now those 17 shipments have automatically been picked up by my computer, and they have the computer bonus applied now. So now I take just a quick glance after I move this guy. I usually just take a quick glance between this this location and this, because my I always forget which one it is. Threshold 16. I always try to find the location that has the lowest number between these two. So this is 17 and 22. The reason for that is because you won't get any additional bonus for that cargo until after it passes the threshold. So for example, if I deliver 22 shipments and I didn't have my threshold set, it will not apply, and I move this, so I activate these two. Let's say I pick up those 22 here and I go here first. The threshold will meet because I am delivering more than 16, but those additional 6 shipments will not get the bonus. It only applies to cargoes, to deliveries after that initial one. So for example, I have 17 here. I'm going to drop off 17 here. That one extra shipment I'm still not going to get the bonus for. If you really want to min-max, you could go back, leave one shipment on here, deliver it, come back, pick up one, go back. I don't worry about that for one shipment. I don't really care enough for that. Again, shipments are kind of a tedious task, so I try to make them as quick as possible, and I'm not going to worry about one shipment. So just a tidbit of information, if you did not know that, the threshold will apply to the bonus will only apply to the cargo after it's been delivered. So since I'm going to drop off these 17 here, I'm not going to get that bonus for any of these 17, but I will get them for the 22 because my threshold will have been met. So I'm going to go to this planet, and I'm going to waypoint to these 3, and I do that because now notice how I was on the waypoint. I didn't automatically pick up the shipments here. I left them on that planet. So I'm going to activate these 2, and now it's going to waypoint and pick up those 22. So you'll see a little bonus. That bonus is only from the trade boost, for the 14%. And now I'm just going to waypoint to all my locations. And that's just a quick path I take. So I go from this planet, I drop off those, I come back, I pick up the trade station shipments from this planet, but instead of delivering it, I immediately go to this planet with these shipments because, again, this planet doesn't hold anything to go to here, so it's not going to pick up anything extra. I forgot to drop those off. And then it's going to go boom, boom, and drop those 2 trade stations off, so it's a pretty quick speed up. So I'm going to speed up the time mod here, and you can just watch how everything moves. But I am effectively done with my shipping. I can walk away if I wanted to. So it's going to pick up just the trade station ones. Then I'm going to go to that one on my way to that trade station. Boom, 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 done. And those are so I have all 12 warp lanes, so I have 5 total locations that are off lane, this planet, and the 3 trade stations, and those have been delivered with my boost burst. And as you can tell, I have plenty of time with my trade boost left over. If you really wanted to min-max and you wanted to leave that one shipment on this planet and come back for it and get it again, so that way you get that bonus after the threshold has been met with those 16, by all means, you could do that. So that is the process. Just to recap, we basically had our transport stationed on planets. Since we're 60 ton, we can pretty much hold every shipment for the most part wherever we go. We start at the bottom and we kind of move our way up towards our hub. We'll leave over any stragglers, so that way we're not accidentally delivering anything when we're moving from planet to planet. We'll shipment beam them from a different location. We'll collect everything, but leaving the ones that are destined to be delivered from that hub. And then we'll bring everything to the hub. We'll drop off and pick up from right to left. So we're doing like a mini sort. And then we'll go ahead and sort from, in my case, I start with 7s on the left, and I go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, leaving the 2s on here. And then once everything is loaded up and organized by transport, I will send them back to their storage hub, and then I will pick up those remaining ones to go to the ice, drop them off, and then we'll drop them off here, so that's where the ones are going. And then we'll send our 2 transports and split them down the system, and then we'll just go back and forth and waypoint to the locations and get the computer applied, and then fire off our drone, and then deal with the off lanes with 1 transport. So now when I do my 12-hour shipment cycle in the morning, this will be ready. So this will be ready when I do my 12-hour cycle. So I only need to worry about using the right. I usually have, like I said, it start here, so I just have to make sure that tomorrow I will use this transport to go to the right side, and this transport will go to the left, just so I can use the burst boost starting from this planet. Well, I hope everything made more sense. This was a preview of how to do a 12-hour shipment cycle with 60 tons. If you have any questions, feel free to add me on Discord. You can join my Discord server for the Sith Empire. I'll have the invite link in the description below. And if you have any other questions, please leave a comment. Thanks.